We are talking today about how to connect with your spirit guides. What is that process? What does that look like for you? What that looks like for me? How many different ways are there to do that? And Diane and I were talking about let's get into like some how tos. Diane, do you want to start with where you're feeling guided by your guidance to open with?
Nyatorokotoria shatakia sarakatariana yotorokoy sarakataria shatakia sarakia sarakotoria shatakoya. So that's a light language message coming through. And the message for all of you is everybody has guides and the ability to connect to the higher frequencies that are here for us, as well as to our own inner guidance. Nyasorokotoria shatakia sarakatariana yesarakshutukoya. This is not something that is separate from other people, because we all have this ability. And so this is not something that I've done all my life. It's a remembrance, it's a soul remembrance, connecting with uh, guidance outside of what our thinking mind sometimes guides us to. And so how I do it is getting quiet and really listening. Sometimes I may be asking a specific question for guidance, but it's also having this being open to it first is important. But trusting that there that we are all so supported and so loved, and everybody has soulful support from the unseen realms, that they are here to guide us to our greatest and highest good. And so there are, different techniques and ways that we can do that. But for me, I think the biggest one is just spending time in nature. That raises our frequency, and just getting quiet, getting out of the chatter, disconnecting from electronics, and connecting to the breath.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You said go into nature, and sometimes we're asking a question, like we're just putting it out there,
Mhm.
and like a butterfly will come by, and we'll
Yes,
be like, that was my guide. I just got an
right.
answer, right? It can be
Yes,
just so simple,
so simple.
so simple.
Or a confirmation,
A
or
beautiful, yeah. And again, it's about connecting and being in that moment, being in the moment to receive that message.
yes.
I know that when I started on my journey of, I want some answers.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn. I want some answers. I'd like some validation. There was my process. My process was to sit down with a pen and paper. Sit down, open my channel up a little. What does that mean? Like open, just clear the mind. Like Diane was saying, clearing the mind, opening the heart, trusting in the process,
Mhm.
and allowing myself to just put the pen or pencil to the paper and not move it. It was almost like I would be in a standstill, like, can I do this? Right? This is early on, and starting with the question. Like we don't always need the question, but when I was started learning of how to connect, what is the question? And I always like to ask the question, what is highest and best for me to know today? Right? And how beautiful, right? I would just love that guidance to get through my day. What is the best way for me to move through my day? What do I need to know? How should I feel to, just getting in touch. And I would write the question at the top of the paper. And again, I would pause with the pen and wait and wait. Is it going to move today? Is it not going to move? And slowly but surely over time, that flow would come and my hand would start to move. And mine would come in, it's different for everybody. Mine would come in short segments, 3 or 4 words at a time. And then I would totally forget them. And I would be, no, I'm on these 3 words, get those written down, 3 words at a time. No idea what I've already written, just staying away from that, and then letting it come, letting it flow. And then when I would feel done, I would put the pen down and be like, do I dare look? What did I say? And trusting that the message was for my highest and best, is setting all those boundaries ahead of time, I would find myself receiving such beautiful messaging.
Hmm.
Not always the answers I was looking for, not always, yes, buy the car, or, eat apples today and not popcorn. I mean, I'm just, sometimes it would just be these beautiful sentiments that I just needed to bring into my heart today. And I used to love to sit and explore with that. And I still pick up the pen. And I highly recommend anybody stepping into the practice, invite in, it feels like always so safe and perfect. Like, invite in the archangels, invite in Archangel Michael, and say, Archangel Michael, what is best for me to know today? And just start writing, feeling into it, allowing yourself to feel not privileged, worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy of the messaging to be received and to connect with these higher beings. Um, yeah, just like writing it and receiving. I would highly recommend doing that.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. It's such a beautiful practice, and I can second the motion that where I've done the same and have been really, gone back to read what came through. Um, and it's nothing I would ever have written.
Exactly.
Nothing I've
It's that
ever,
feeling.
it's that these beautiful sentiments. Um, I do just want to throw in there, Karen mentioned asking Archangel Michael, or calling in the archangels. Archangel Michael is the protector, and um, so to be, this is another video that we'll do, getting into the many archangels that are here for us, but he is the protector. And um, I also want to say not to be afraid of working with these frequencies of love and of light, and always, again, calling in protection, because we do want to protect ourselves. We don't want to just open ourselves up to anything, to any energetic beings that are out there. But when we do have and hold the intention of only bringing in love and light, and putting a frame of protection around us, we are in a safe container. And I'll just tell you really quick, I used to play with the Ouija board when I was younger,
Mhm.
and it was exciting. That's probably, gosh, early on in my teenage years, kind of opened me up to getting more curious at that, and like watching these paranormal movies about the unseen realms and how powerful they can be. But there are dark forces out there. And so I have experienced some darker things with the Ouija board. And so that's not something I would recommend using as a tool to connect with guides. I think
I would agree with that.
think,
I think it's a level that you go through of
mhm,
testing and experimenting, especially in our
yeah,
youth.
of course.
Yeah. They used
Uh,
to call me the antenna. I didn't understand back then. I get it now.
right. And it can be exciting when you're having these spiritual connections. I mean, I didn't know anything about protection and archangels and beings of love and of light back then. It was just like, oh, I'm connecting with something that I can't see. This is thrilling. And but we always do want to be careful and setting that intention of, for our highest good, greatest good, and um in love and light, and support for my healing and evolution, soul's evolution journey. So yeah, anything
Yeah.
else you want to
Yeah. So,
share?
well, I wanted to share that you opened with, well, there was two things. So you opened with light language,
I did.
right?
Yeah.
Right. That is literally connecting with higher guides. It's an evolutionary process that us as souls work through and get to a point. And then Diane is beautifully, as we both do, bring that guidance and connect with our guides through light language. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was, as a clairvoyant, when I am in meditative space, I see my guides, and I don't always um, get a name or get the guidance or the messaging that needs to come through. And I find that in that altered state of being in a meditative state or in a dream state, that I will I'm hearing seek, like I'm seek, but there are times I will receive the messaging, and I am connecting, or I'm given like I'm given a color, or I'm given a symbol, right? Or I'm given a memory, or something to connect with, that's outside of like reading or understanding fully. And again, there's just beautiful trust in that. So if you are experiencing guides in your dream state, or when you're meditating, I've learned, and I am the proponent. I am like the poster child, right? Staying out of fear.
Yeah.
And you know, we we don't want to play with the spirit boards and step into that negative fear. But when you are in your space and you are experiencing guides coming through, you know, what is the word? It's almost a divine right. I don't know if I want to go that far, but like that's your experience. And to stand truthful to, maybe you're having some mediumship going on, and you have a guide coming through from like an ancestor or somebody who's passed away in your family, and you're desperately seeking to connect, and they're showing up as a guide. These are all the ways to explore and open up further to receive more messaging. Yeah, have you had that experience where you have had your guides show up in dream space?
I have, sure, yes.
Yeah.
And it can feel so um so loving,
Yes.
is the words I'm getting. And not being in fear, but just like wow.
Wow. Right.
Um, when I'm in nature too, I uh connect a lot. And you mentioned the butterfly, like
Mm,
a lot of signs, right? And we can just ask for signs, but there's just this knowing. And I mentioned in another video, I used to see feathers constantly. They'd be everywhere in the most oddest places. And I haven't seen them very frequently in a long time, but um, for the past several months, what's been showing up for me is hearts. And it's
mm,
always in the moment that I maybe pondering a question, or just like, am I making the right choice, and then a heart will appear in so many
yes.
different, so many different, forms. It could be a leaf the shape of a heart, or a little droplet of water in the shape of a heart, or just everywhere. So I encourage everyone to be open to seeing and receiving the signs. There's a beautiful book too. I don't know if you've read it, Karen, or listened to it, but it is by uh Laura Lynn Jackson. We'll put the info in the notes, but it's Laura Lynn Jackson, Signs of the Universe, or Signs
Mm,
from the Universe. And it's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful book. So if you're looking to connect with your guides, or your, loved ones who have crossed, I highly recommend that book.
yeah. My guides tell me not to read the books,
Not to
right?
read the books, yeah.
And again, and I'm in agreement with that. And then, and then I don't have to be in agreement with anything I receive, right?
Mhm.
There is free will. We
Yeah,
never
always.
have to do anything that we don't want to. But when you leave the house and you're kind of like, oh, should I be going here? And then a car pulls in front of you and their license plate is 777. You're like, okay, that's my symbol for keep moving forward, keep going. You're on the right path, and follow the guidance, right? These are my guides who are leading me and showing me that I am doing what I came to do. and furthering my knowledge and my expansion and my spiritual connection. And I trust in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So just a quick recap, how to connect with your own guides. Get quiet, find some quiet space and really connect with your breath. Drop out of your mind and kind of into your heart space. Just, you can sort of imagine that you're breathing in and out from the center of your chest, settling into your body, having the practice of gratitude. And just, I mentioned, I think in a previous video, the gratitude alphabet, going through the letters of the alphabet and just saying one thing that you're grateful of that starts with each letter of the alphabet. And trusting the process. Be open to writing, asking a question, maybe asking a question and listening, just listening, or practice writing, seeing what comes through. What else did we? Is there
Okay,
anything else?
yeah,
Nature, connecting with
nature.
nature.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
engaging with the intention of like setting the
the
conversation
intention.
up,
Yeah.
having the conversation.
Mhm.
Ask, speak, receive. It's not a one way conversation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, deep knowing that you're safe and this is your journey and you are worthy of not walking around this world not connected.
And there's nothing to be afraid of.
And there's nothing to
Because
be
you
afraid
are
of.
okay. We are all okay. And this is the big game of life that we're here playing together on a big, exciting journey. And so with that, I think we'll close. Karen, you want to close with a little bit of
Oh
light
my gosh,
language?
shono korwa. Shono korwa tiari ato korwa tuku shono kiati. Paparwa shono koriat kiari ato korwa sho paparwa tuku shono korwa kiari ato korwa tukurwa tukuriat kariat korwa. I'm hearing over and over, simply talk to us, simply
Mm,
talk to us, simply talk to us. Feel it in
beautiful.
the heart. Yeah, that's where we listen. We listen in the
Yeah.
heart.
That's right. That's right. Thank you all so
Thank
much for
you.
joining us today, our conversation. Karen and I, help other people connect with their guides, and you can certainly work with us individually as well as together. There's a link in the description about how to do that. And please always leave comments, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share some topic ideas that you would be interested in hearing about. So with that said, we will see you in the next one. Everybody take care. Sending you so much love. Peace out.